I don't really have a hang up with this. And that's how I'm able to like look into it as kind of a math. And that's the only word I can use to explain it, like as what we are seeing as a fact of life and reality. And what I'm looking at is pretty fucking gnarly. And I'm trying to figure out, well, why does it even exist here as an experience to behold? Like to say, is this even a possibility? Because I am a kind of a rebel, and I refuse to just swallow the programming. Um, So basically, I mean, I can't make any sense out of it except for to say it's equivalent to a cartoon. It's equivalent to a cartoon when I'm talking about what men and women are doing here. Not what men and women are doing, because they don't know what they're doing here. It's what their creator has them doing here. You know, when I say creator, I'm talking about the same wonder, like from where do butterflies come from? Or where does all of this at all come from? You know, I'm just not vaccinated, and so I still have that question. And so, not a good money maker, in other words, and I'm not going to feed you, serve your children, or you up a red herring. Anyway, getting back to you just innocently, like, okay, so it's, I don't know how much time I have here on the earth, or not, but now that I've had enough experiences, and if I'm being honest with myself, which I've already made recorded 80 minutes of me spilling out who I am, starting from like 7 years old. And it's personal. It has to do with these subject matter between men and women. And it's really interesting even to me. Because it's like how you start writing freelance, and then I'm not saying it begins to write its own story, but it's like the truth. Like I'm saying, I'm being honest with myself, and like as much as I can just run through without taking 9 hours of life, an actual life being tried to be said here, just going in general. And I did a pretty damn good job. I had my brain surgeon mind on at the time, which is around about 37 hours deprived of sleep and no food. But anyway, I'm learning. I just learned, getting off a little bit of the subject matter, but I learned that this experience that I've been it's happening to everybody with the bombardment of EMF waves. They're going to be getting insomnia more and more. So this is kind of forcing the population to experience something beyond their normal capacity of mind, which now when I'm studying nonchalantly, not reading a book, but with the experience of it, because here it is. There's a certain state. It's not sleep, but it's a state. It's just I've been doing this for years, to tell you the truth. But lately, it's got really intense from because we get insomnia, and I've never really experienced insomnia until of all of the EMF wave bombardments, and then just getting right into it, the systematic premature prying open of the third eye, which, if you're not ready, is going to allow in a lot of shit, mainly into the aperture who is looking at this other truth that is coming through their inside mind's eye, that they're not going to be able to handle it. It's being hijacked, and it's a fucking battle zone, but it's no different than you're living, and then this fake life here. It's just the way it is. If you're not staying purely aware and you're not aware, you lost. You lost your ass, and now no more war. See, the word aware has the word war in it, or it's just R, A-R. You want to get into Aries? Mars ruled, and then they say we're warlike, and it's like, We're aware like, excuse me. And if it's not like a tightrope, you're doing it wrong. We don't want to hear about your, oh, I just discovered you really got to put yourself through stress. We already know that, babe. Look where we're sitting. Look how we sit. You wish an Aries was on your side, and they will be if you are all about the truth. That's the first person you'll see. So yeah, I am. That and that too. Getting back to babes, what was I talking about in the beginning? I'm trying to. This is such. Really, I'm not interested. I think this is something that I've been dreading, besides for the education system, was what are men and women doing here? And when I say doing, what I mean is, why are we here? I mean, who put us here? And what is the purpose of this both? Besides for, see, I made a video that is 80 minutes long, and I was about to say, I don't want to back myself into this corner of just saying, man, I do not ever get along with men, because that is so to the contrary. The fact is, in my personal life, like I said, when I'm being honest with myself, is this the same fucking video? Now, when I look back, the reality holds the truth, and that is that Shauna has really deep interaction with men as her being woman. Why? Well, I kind of level up and say, hey man, we're not a superior, this isn't a game, we're not in competition here. There's a perspective that we're dealing with, and if we can honor each other like this, maybe one is doing it. And check this out, I can cut wood too, right? And some men complimenting, noticing, yeah, no, babe, it's not whether you're a man or a woman, it's if you know the truth and you know how to work shit. This is such a fucking... I would rather not rack my brain about this, and I'm thinking, how do I not? So I'm trying to make a little money, and I have a chance to make money, but am I good at making money? No. I have no interest in it. I'm a woman that has an interest in maintaining my well-being and being really creative and actually creating things at what's being thrown at me. So like I said, if I all I'm trying to do is get a little bit more money so I can keep on with what I'm learning, which is something I never expected ever in my life. I've done a lot of things in my life, and I'm very much a doer. I'm hands-on. I've done a lot, man. People know me of just being industrial. If I'm playing music, I play a lot of it. If I write a lot. If it's just, what the fuck, does she ever stop? No! Not until the day I fucking stop breathing do I manufacture or reproduce or produce or spew out nirvana at a capacity that is highly industrious and drawing off of a reservoir that is quite tireless and endless. Call me Pluto, honey. And I admit, yes, you have to get plenty of rest. And upon trying to do so, which is like, sometimes you can't write and you have to dip into your reservoir. And I am not without, like, looking at this. I'm not like, you know what fear does for you? It stops you learning. So I'm not like, oh no, I didn't get a lot of sleep. So I just noticed, like, boy, you can stop sleep altogether by worrying about that you're not getting a lot of sleep. Have you ever stressed out about not getting sleep? And there you go, it's another 48 hours because all you did was stress out about not getting a sleep. That's like, oh no, this is fucking hilarious. Don't worry about it, because sleep deprivation is actually something you need to experience to get good at something. You need to be stressed out on all levels of your senses somehow. And deprivation is huge. Stop eating so much. Stop looking at the fucking TV so much. Stop being around people so much. Stop your mind so much, Getting back to what I've just had no idea, and I feel, see, of course, this is the fact. You get downloads when you're sleeping, but see, um, there's the alpha, theta, and delta brain state, and I'm exploring them all. The alpha, really simple, is that when you're playing music or something, or when you're relaxing and you are kind of dozing off and the TV's on, and then all of a sudden you hear it in a different way. Pretty soon you realize, you know what? Shiitake Williams is full of shit. All of them are. But boy, let me drift back into that state where you just notice they want me to think this and they want me to think that, and that's not really happening, but this is really happening, and this and that. And you can, pretty soon you can hear the lines in between the lines, the actual newscast. Not a single 80% of people who live like this, and that progress is being made, right? Even know what I'm talking about there. Getting back to the theta brainwave state, which is now you're tapping into the answers. Like I said, I went into both of them when I told you about the cartoon of just saying, actually, I hear the actual truth in the bitch, instead of just turning it into the noise that it is, and then hear it for what it is. It's like, well, why such the fucking cha 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 cha, and all of it, babe. Turn it off, and then let's get into the delta brainwave state. I'm learning firsthand is when you can start getting into superhuman activities. And I had no idea. I tried to share some of it, talking about how that if if you really do psychological conditioning enough in your own mind, just get a hold of it. Just start imagining that that vat of ice cubes is actually hot cocoa, and just oh, and your body has the capability of following your mind that way, just through imagining it. And I'll never say believing it. It's the power of imagination that will send us into our superhuman capabilities, which I I know I've been doing a lot of it just as being what I am, and then a lot of women and even men will be saying, that's, you're pretty strong. My neighbor is just, when they get close to me, they make sure they tell me, you know what, you're fucking strong. And it's because I imagine things first before I do them. And sometimes that imagination just says, there isn't any question, but I'm going to execute this bitch, and it's going to feel like bliss. And it's like sideways sleeting snow, and I'm just like, I guess I should have chopped my wood in summer, but nah, I'll just do it now. What insults me is the people closest to me, and it happened. At least I had a decent time with my mom and my dad, but then, I was there when my grandmother passed away, but that's when I noticed there are murderers uh, doing this end of life process in such a way that I can't find respect for it. And then now, see, I was taken away from my grandmother in such a way that was like, she didn't need to go down like that. Good God! Thought you were gonna take care of her. I guess that means just send them through with me. God, they're going out anyway. And it's like, fuck, don't you want to see if they had any mental clarity. My grandma was actually still spiritually learning, and she could still actually. She was just so high up that nobody could understand her, to the point that people would talk to her like, "Ah, blah, blah, blah," like they couldn't hear her, and she was like, "Why are you yelling at me?" And I'll look at her like, poor thing, they don't know that she's perfectly fucking there. She just could care less about the fucking world. If you're doing it right, that's where you're graduating to. You're like, good God, forgive me for fucking taking this all seriously. Getting back to having been taken away from the delicacy of that, where she was just, let's call it a heart attack, and oh my God. Want to know what really happened? I'll include that in my autobiography. Includes the delicacy of who we are. I'm a transformational guru, and that includes people actually calling upon me when they're about to die and give birth. Happened to me, very satisfying moment, when a family friend began to call upon me. Well, he was in the middle, he was in the life process. An atheist who was very interesting to talk to, because he just was confused about words, and I was there to help him, and I saw him turn into a 16-year-old man right in front of my face, because he just got it like this. I could write a book about what he shared to me, confirming our reality. This person who was trying to fucking bullshit me about, oh, I'm an atheist, about my saying, well, I respect that, babe, but check this out. And I give him a few little lessons about what I know about our eternal life, and gave me a compliment 6 hours before he died. That was satisfying for me. Now, what's unsatisfying or fucked up? My brother, I don't know if he's near death or that he died. You people, and even him, very chicken shit, saying, well, I don't want to let you know. I don't want you to see this, but I have cancer, and I think I might, I'm good. Would you shut the fuck up? I've been there for everybody. In front of my face, they have died. And we have done nothing but laugh because we began to see through the illusion. I am here for you. You're fucking putting me to waste. And I'm not taking it personally, because this is what's happening to all of society. I'm like the last of the last, man. I'm able to communicate. Do you know where it's going to hell? Who we really are. Not really, babes. What's going to happen in the Aquarius age when Pluto moves into Aquarius? We just know. Aquarius says, I know. You know why, babe? You want to know what the fucking equation KNOW is? First of all, the K is silent. My question is, when did that word now turn into the word no? Not that women have anything to do with the W shape, but don't we have to manipulate the W in order for it to turn no? If the K is silent, and that's what we're doing, the answer is yes. But that's not what we're doing. We're doing mathematical equations. And I have still yet to learn what the K is all about. It's often found silent for a reason. It's kind of sneaky. I'll get it. I'll get the download. I already got it once a little bit. It still comes to me. It says, this is why. Because it's unseen. Something is not there. What is it? The mind. You can't see the mind. It's not even real. Well, what is it then? It's just now. What is that? That's all you can know. Oh, no. Is it really no, or is it just now? Getting back to who knows what, babes. I hope you enjoy this practice of mine. I am a motivational speaker. Moving my mind is being trashed by Pluto. I think it's at 28 degrees. And what we like about Pluto at this point is that it's going to move into Aquarius. I like it because it's going to start being harmonious with Libra, which I have 5 planets there, and it's going to start being harmonious with Aries too. Thank God for Aries. If you didn't get your Aries on during the last 12 years, and we are independent, we are kind of rough and tumble, and we're going to stress out a little bit and worry, and you don't even know that, but we have warm hearts, and we're not really as mean, but we can get that way. Why? Well, talk about um, dealing with the intensities and being real, and saying we just don't put up with much unrealness. You have to really respect the very first emergence of the human possibility, which says, I am. And that is all you're looking at here. Everything that you can possibly contemplate, astrology can point at it, including the amoeba, which, by the way, is starting with the letter A. Not a coincidence, like atom, it's not a big deal. Fucking A. Just amoebas are the most basic shit. Basic A. Sorry. Not a coincidence. That we have a math here already. The symbols point at just the truth, and it's all Antichrist. It's Antichrist if it says that I am the truth and I'm not just pointing at the truth. A lot of people don't know what the fuck Antichrist means, and they think, oh, it's a human that's going to emerge out of a cloud. They're going to sit down and they're going to dictate everything. And it's like, no, it's here already. It's here already. Words are Antichrist. Your mind is Antichrist. People don't even know what the fucking word Christ is. This is where I was just like, okay, can you fuck words for a minute? Is there an experience that you're having at all? Is there and is there and are we here? Can we cut down the babble by at least 3/4? Yes. Believe it or not. And I'm good at it. I specialize in babble. A lot of people, narcissists, mock me immediately. Immediately, it's time to cut down Shauna. Whatever this free-thinking, amazing expression is in front of my face that actually said something. Within 5 minutes, something was said. Gotta fucking cut this back. Does she have a need or something? I could start manipulating that and then undermine the rest of her. Get back to you as soon as I act like a warlock and serve Satan. I don't know what to say, babe, but you never win. Did you ever notice that you never win? And man, see, I have to remember not to radiate like cold shards of broken glass like any empath can, and we have the powers, really, the authority to send you into spiritual prison. Don't do it, because if you notice how miserable these fucking people get after in the long run, there's a long haul that most narcissists do not at all think about. If they are, of course, they're going to get an insurance policy, and they've whipped that up. That's why they're running really hard right now. Yeah, that's why life is so beautiful right now. Everybody is so present, and do you see the garden out there forming? All of that work from dusk to dawn. We have people working 12 hours a day. We're not going to be worrying about starvation in 5 years, in 2 years. And the economy is bustling, not because just it's about money. It's about all those creative people out there actually churning up something that we can use.